So where would you say? Because I know you asked me. I don't know if I asked you. Where do you put Crawford's place in history if he stops today, and if he, you know what I'm saying?
If he stops today, right now,
where is his place in history? And matter of fact, tell me where you think Spence places history if he stops today, which could possibly happen. I hope not, but it could happen. And then where do you see Crawford's place in history today? And if he continues to do whatever you think he might do, where do you see his place in history?
Well, no disrespect.
Three-part question.
No disrespect to Spence. No disrespect. I think Spence is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's a Hall of Fame fighter. I don't think his career merits Hall of Fame because I mean, is his resume better than Josh Taylor's? Is his accolades better than Josh Taylor's? Is his accolades better than Teofimo Lopez? No. I don't think Spence is a Hall of Fame fighter in my book, but you ain't got to worry about me because my vote is not going to count in that when that happens. So you ain't got to worry about that. But so for me, I think Spence is a great fighter. I think if he stops right now, in history, he goes down as a great champion. He goes down as he's been in great fights. But I don't see Hall of Fame career there, in my opinion. And I don't see Hall of Fame accolades. I don't. I mean, he fought in one division his entire career. He won 3 belts, and when it came time to prove that he's the best in the division, he lost. That doesn't prove Hall of Fame to me. But people hasn't made it in the Hall of Fame for less. And this is no disrespect to Spence. I just think that there's a lot of fighters that's done more, and they're not in the Hall of Fame right now. So I don't see how with the resume, he won 3 titles at 147. Does that equate to Hall of Fame? I mean, if we're gonna do accolades, right? If we just looking at this, let's not look at the resume. Let's look at accolades. Adrian Bronner has more accolades than Earl Spence.
He does.
Exactly. And you could consider him a Hall of Famer. He would be more, for me, Adrian Bronner would have more of an argument for Hall of Fame than Earl Spence. But some people would say Earl Spence is better than Adrian Bronner. So it's a for me.
What's more important to you, accolades or resume?
I think they go hand in hand. I think one hand wash the other, both wash the face. They go hand in hand.
But one would favor one more than the other. Because you got Hagler.
If I had to, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Hagler you can only judge him off his resume more so than his accolades because he stayed at one division. Now with Leonard, you can judge Leonard off his resume and accolades, but his accolades is very compelling because he stayed at, he went to multiple divisions. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Spence, is his name's not strong enough for Hall of Fame status like Hagler's? Or, do you not feel those opponents are no good? Like, do you feel like those opponents that he fought are not Hall of Fame opponents either?
Well, to answer you asked me a difficult question, and I got to point out that that's a great question, and it was difficult.
I asked the professor. I asked the knockout scientist. I asked the boxing professor. I didn't ask just no casual ass. Hey, this fair shaking King G. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I'm gonna tell you something. That question is a great question. What's better, accolades or resume? Damn, it's like I'm trying to figure out an answer for that because. Okay, a resume can be great, and you could have losses in there, but it still could be a great resume. Accolades is what you have accomplished. So,
but you can accomplish a lot of accolades in a weak ass era,
Exactly. So I think So to answer that question, I have to answer this question. Damn, because it's like, man, it's a debating question. And like, what's like. The thing is this, right? If the accolades is better, if you have fought champions and formidable opponents, then the accolades matter more. the resume would matter more if you fought great. If it's built with great fighters, you can have losses in there, and then you put it up against somebody who has cherry picked their way to titles. Then the resume would matter more.
So you know what the truth is, Fair Straight? The real answer is it depends on what you got as a fighter. Because depending on who the fighter is, his resume may matter more or his accolades may matter more. Case in point, one of my favorite fighters, resume ain't shit. I tell you, his resume ain't shit to most people. Demetrius Andrade. But you can't deny his accolades. You can't deny him winning belts, major titles in multiple divisions. Because his resume is what it is, his accolades is more important when it comes to his legacy. So really, he really needs more accolades unless he balances out what you said, the resume. See, Terrence Crawford has a balanced legacy with accolades and resume.
Yes, absolutely.
Spence has a unbalanced legacy because he can only build most of his shit off his resume. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can win 3. Hell, Margarito done won 4 titles.
You know who has a pretty good resume and some pretty good accolades?
Who's that?
Lamont Peterson.
For sure. Yeah, he does.
Lamont Peterson has a great resume, and he has some good
title at
accolades.
147?
Say that I don't think he didn't get a title at 147. No.
So not steering off too far. Okay, so we kind of get what you saying with Errol Spence. His accolades is not there to put him in Hall of Fame status as you will see fit.
Yeah, right.
Which I understand. Okay, so where with Crawford, where if he stops today, what's his history today? And then the follow-up question to that would be if he does, what you may think he do.
Okay, and you also asked me, how do I feel about Errol Spence's opponents? You said, do I feel like they're not Hall of Fame then?
Yeah. Did you answer? Yeah, you didn't answer that.
I didn't answer that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I had this little argument with a dude today, and because he was saying that Errol Spence is Hall of Fame, Sean Porter is Hall of Fame, and Danny Garcia is Hall of Fame. And me personally, I kind of had to push back against that a little bit. I don't think Sean Porter is Hall of Fame, and I don't think Errol Spence is. I feel like that. What is the standards to being in the Hall of Fame then? I don't like for me, I feel like Hall of Fame is like you had to make a stamp on like in history. Like somewhere and that stamp was made because of your accomplishments. That stamp was made because of your victories. Not like you can have losses, but you have to have more. I feel like to be in the Hall of Fame, you should. I just don't feel like. I'm not saying that Sean Porter. These dudes are great fighters, and I don't want to be the one that say they're not Hall of Fame. But it's like to me, when I look at the fighters of the past, it just does it don't equate. It isn't equal. So it's hard. Maybe it's because I'm comparing them to the fighters of the past. And maybe that's not good.
I think we gotta stop. How can I? It really ain't no way to say it, but to say it. And because of Crawford, I gotta say it. We gotta stop shitting on today's fighters to build up yesterday's fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because a lot of times, like when you bring up Floyd, I hear it all the time. Oh well, people in Sugar Ray Leonard and Duran and all them, they would have beat all these guys. It's like, bro, I don't know if fucking Duran would have beat Pacquiao, the prime Pacquiao. I don't know that. I can't say that for certain. Fucking a prime Oscar De La Hoya was a great fucking fighter, bro. Like he beat great fucking fighters. He beat Chavez. He beat Whitaker. Like these guys' opponents. And it's like when you look at boxing, skills and skill levels and techniques and conditionings and training regimens and shit that you can take and proteins and shit. Like this shit evolves over time to where they don't even have the type of equipment, which made it harder for them. But it's like, bro, you give, you know, people certain equipment today, it can make them perform a lot better than the people that don't have these enhancements from back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like some of these guys, you know, bro, it's like I can't, like Crawford, like I said earlier, Crawford can compete in any of these eras. I think Sean Porter not only can compete, but would be successful in different eras of boxing. Like that dude, the way he fights and his different styles and his work regimen and stuff, like, you know, Timothy Bradley, bro, these dudes can compete in other eras. And I know what? Go ahead, bro.
You know what I'm gonna say? Earl Spence, I might have to retract my statement because I'm gonna say this. The jury is out whether Earl Spence, Sean Porter goes into the Hall of Fame or not. For me, I have to give that more thought. I have to consider that a little more because what you said was correct. I am glorifying yesterday, and I am ignoring today, and that's not fair to the fighters of today. That's not fair. So I would have to give that more thought before I say that they're not Hall of Fame. I retract that. I'm gonna give that more thought. I have to put more consideration into my decision in that one.
Like I've been saying for years, you put me in the ring with all the great fighters around my weight class, past, present, future. I'm gonna hold my own against all of them, and that's just how I feel. You know, I feel as if, you know, our styles have evolved from the older fighters. You know, I feel like, you know, they paved the way for us, and the things that they adored, the things that they was doing in the ring, we mimic them, but we take it to a new level. So I feel I hold my own with any of those guys.
But I'm gonna say this real fast. If Earl Spence's resume, if Earl Spence's resume equals up to Hall of Fame career, then Teofimo Lopez simply beating Josh Taylor and Vasily Lomachenko equals a Hall of Fame career.
I can't say that.
You can't say that? He beat two undisputed champions?
When was Lomachenko ever undisputed?
I'm sorry, damn. Josh Taylor was undisputed. Lomachenko was never undisputed.
Yeah.
But Lomachenko is a Hall of Famer.
Well, hey, look. Me personally, I'll say this. Me personally, I would say yes. To somebody else, they may say, "Hey, man, no way, a nigga lost his third fucking fight, second fight is in Hall of Fame level, you know, or lost multiple fights. He lost 3 fights in under 20 fights. He done lost 3 of them, you know, like he has. I'm just, you know, but due to a late career start, true enough. Right. But some people may argue that. Like with me, I don't think Danny Garcia is Hall of Fame. But some people may say, hey, look, he got the necessary names on his resume, whether he caught people like Eric Morales late or not. You know what I'm saying? He got certain people. He's won titles in multiple weight divisions. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I understand both. And like that's the thing, you know, when it comes to, you know, discussing these topics or even debating them, it's always 2 sides to the coin that can be looked at. And at the end of the day, you just got to stand on what side that you acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? And with Spence, I do think he will get a some kind of inaugural Hall of Fame status, like how Arturo Gatti did. Yeah. Not being compared with the best to ever do it at the weight class, but because of what he did at the time he did it, let's give him a salute of, yeah, man, we appreciate you in the sport type, like because it's two type of Hall of Fames, you know what I'm saying? So you got the International Hall of Fame, and you know what I'm saying, you got the World Hall of Fame. But I think he'll definitely make one. The most prestigious one, I think Crawford definitely would make that one. But but fast forwarding it back, not to go too deep into that. Crawford with his
Crawford's place in history. Crawford's place in history. So if Crawford stops today, I'm just going to add this real quick. If Crawford stops today, then he has to be at least under or right under or above Floyd Mayweather.
I can see that. That's I can see that. Do you place him above Pacquiao if he stops today?
Yes.
Okay.
I think double undisputed trumps 8-time division champion.
Ooh, that just made me open up another question real quick. What do you think is more impressive? To be undisputed, to be the first to be undisputed in two different weight classes in a 4-belt era, or to be undisputed simultaneously in two different weight classes in a 4-belt era? Which one you think is more glorified?
Say that one more time.
Okay, so one, you can be undisputed, the first to be undisputed twice in a 4-belt era, or you can be the first to be the undisputed in two different weight classes
at the same time.
You can be the first one to do that in a 4-belt era.
So you saying what's better, to be the first to be undisputed in two different weight classes, or the first to be undisputed in two different weight classes and hold all them titles simultaneously?
Okay, so let me make it plain for you. I'm about to make it super plain in reality. Everybody can follow right now.
Okay.
If in the event, right now, Terrence Crawford is the first to be undisputed in two different weight classes in a 4-belt era. He's the first to ever do that, right?
Yes. Yeah. The first male.
The first male to do that. Going out this year, Canelo and Jamal Charlo has a fight coming up. If Jamal is successful, he will be the first fighter to be undisputed in a 4-belt era in two different weight classes at the same time.
Okay, so I understood your question. So what you said is exactly what I thought. Which one is better?
It's more impressive, Crawford's feet or Charlo's feet?
If that was the case, then Charlo's would be more impressive.
I actually agree, and I'm gonna tell you why. I agree because being the first to do something, sometimes you can't really control that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. That's something. The timing could be completely out of your control, but to actually get an opportunity to do it in two different weight, to do it in another weight class while you're already that in one weight class, that's a little bit more of a controlled feat for greatness. You know what I'm saying? And it's open for people to do, and people ain't done it, and people can't do it, and people ain't gonna try to do it. So to accomplish that would be a amazing feat, and it really, and to be honest with you, if Jamel Charlo were able to do that, even though, now this how real I am, I'm about to keep it G, I'm gonna keep it King G with you, Shay. Even though I feel like if they lock up, Crawford will be victorious over Charlo. But if they both leave this year, Crawford leaves this year with his performance he just had, and Charlo somehow beats Canelo, maybe even stops him, that'll be even crazier, right? But if he wins that fight in dramatic fashion as well, going into the year, I can't say he's the face of boxing or he's the face. Them two gotta fight. They got to fight for me to say, hey, I gotta put you up, because going into the year, I got them neck and neck if that happens. They equal if that happens. They equal at that number one spot. They holding this shit together. You know what I'm saying? They will literally have to fight to make the separation because that will put one up against the other. If Crawford does it, then guess what? He's 3-time now, and he's also a undisputed champion in two different weight classes. And if Charlo beats him, then guess what? He's the only man to beat the man that was undisputed in 2 different weight classes first one to do it. So that'll be a beautiful situation. It almost feel like a fantasy to me, but it can be a serious reality. But I can't put one above the other if that happens. Let me get your take on that one, Shay, before we wrap it up.
Man, there is no way you would be able to decide who is 1A and who is 1B. There is no way that you'd be able to decide that, because that right there, you know what's crazy? I never think I would be having an argument about 2 fighters and how do I place them, because both of them is so goddamn great. It's just
right.
It's a hell of an argument. Like, both of them is so great, you don't even know who to get a trophy to. It's a hell of an argument, man. And I'm just as stuck as you. You got to say both of them. It got to be a tie, right? It got to be a tie.
It got to be a tie. If you being a fair person, and you know what I'm saying, if you remove the emotional attachment that I be talking about, you got to call it square.
Yeah, you got to.
That's an even feat. That's an even feat, man. That one is just as glorious as the other. Yeah. So I would expect the same way that everybody is giving Terrence all these different accolades and all these different things. I hope Charlo is successful just so he can make history like that.
I agree. Me too. And I hope he wins too. I hope Charlo wins the fight.
And I hope people give him his flowers, bro. They give him his flowers for his accomplishments, because this dude took a loss, came back, beat that dude who became the undisputed champion of the world, bro. Took a draw, but then took a draw after that. Took a controversial draw, came back to become undisputed, bro. You know what I'm saying? After taking a loss, avenging it, and then taking a draw and avenging that for undisputed, and then moving up 2 weight classes to fight the face of who's considered the face of boxing and win.
He a real fighter.
Come on, man. I can't say nothing bad about no Charlo, bro. Like, not that Charlo, not Jamel. You know what I'm saying? They need to come up with some nicknames, man. But yeah, man.
He a real fighter.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I got on that one, bro.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Well, listen, man. Hey, look, man. This is a special. This was a special episode too, man. With Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, man. Everybody that's listening and tuning in, man, please, man, hit that like button, man. It helps with the algorithm of the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed, man, please do so now, man. In a minute, we're going to be going live with these things, man, and kind of interacting with the chats and everything, man. We might even have special guests on here and there, man. But thank y'all for tuning in, you know what I'm saying, to the weekly roundup. You know what I'm saying? We was cooking in the lab today. You know, you had the boxologists and the Einstein genius scientists of boxing in this whole, man, cooking like a motherfucker tonight, man. A lot of good content, bro. A lot of good boxing talk. And just ultimately, man, salute to both brothers, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, man. Y'all did a hell of a job, man. And salute to every boxer, man, that laces them up, man. I think all you guys, man, got hard lines, bro. And I got nothing but respect as a fan of the sport. I just, I respect fighters that respect the sport, man. I respect all fighters that respect the sport and keeps the sport in its proper integrity. Shake, man, you got anything you want to say, man? Let everybody know they can follow you. And go ahead, brother. You got the floor.
Yeah, you can follow me at Fair Shake, man. I'm YouTube channel Fair Shake. Support the channel, support King G, support me. We're gonna bring you more great content. And hey man, everything G said, I concur. You know, I'm happy these brothers got the fight. I'm happy these brothers put on a good fight, and I hope that Earl Spence is gonna be all right. I would like him to have a full recovery and come back strong. I really would like to see Earl come back strong. I think Earl was a great fighter, and I think that I would love to see more of him. You know Crawford. I would love to see more of him, and I'm happy. I'm happy these dudes was able to create a good fight, a good moment, a good memory in boxing history, and we move on to the next one.
Yeah, man. So we tuning out of the lab, man. Shout out to the Lions Den boxing community. Everybody stay blessed. That's right. Peace.
NBA Sports TV here, holding it down for the homie King G, the boxologist.
I picked King G to come through and win it all, man. I'm gonna keep this young man. It's his entertainment factor and his knowledge in general. The way he present his argument and like break down your arguments at the same time. I like his style.
We got King G, the boxologist. So he sounds like he the guy. His name say he the guy. So we gonna see. He already proclaimed himself.
All right, let me go to boxologist. Boxologist, what type of performance you putting on, man?
Man, we trying to tap into Ultra Instinct one time, man. You know what I'm saying? We trying to put that spirit bomb on that boy, blow him up, man.
I'm calling King G the winner by knockout round this motherfucker. I know this didn't just happen. Real dog round this motherfucker.
Hey, King G told him straight up, he said, hey, he my warm up. I'm finna hit him with the spirit bomb in his bitch.
King G came in with a hell of a
he did his thing.
Yeah, he a hell of a debater.
He did his thing, man.
Boxologist.
I'm talking about King G, the boxologist. This monster King G. I'm talking about that monster King G.
But I got boxologists until somebody beat him. I have to see somebody beat him before I pick against him.
He's just not on the level of a King G when it comes to debating, because he had a layup and he couldn't dunk the ball.
Oh, for sure. We got two KG bitches up there and shit like this nigga. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got us deep free. What we gonna do? King G got us both on his goddamn. King G got us both on his goddamn wall deep free. I had a 3-0 King G. I had a 3-0 King G. Okay. As far as me judging it.
King G, boxologist, was the victor. He took the entire tournament.
King G, what's up, man? Old school King G, the debate champion is in the building, y'all. That's right, the king of boxing debates right now.